All right, so this is part two, video two for your review. We ended with diseases are the reason why Europeans were able to take over the Americas. So let's keep going with conquistador. A conquistador is a person from Spain who came to America to claim land. But conquistadors are often known as being violent and honestly pretty mean. The conquistadors are the ones who went in and would wipe out entire Native American populations. So that's a conquistador. The key there is that they're from Spain. But yeah, next one. Why were Arab traders and Venetian merchants able to charge so much for spices? It was because let's say the trip to Asia from Europe was long and difficult. We'll say long, dangerous, and difficult. So the Europeans did not travel there themselves. Instead, they had to rely on the traders and merchants to bring the spices to them. And these people were able to charge a lot for the spices because they were a European's only hope for getting the spices. So remember, essentially, it's the only way that the Europeans could get it. And so the traders and the merchants knew that. And so they charged a ton because the Europeans can't really complain or say no. If they say no, then they're not getting the spices at all. All right, so that's how they were able to charge so much. Next, what is an artifact and why are they important? An artifact is an object that a culture leaves behind, and it's important because they are important because they help us to understand the history and culture of people from the past. All right. Remember, an artifact isn't just things that are in museums. Okay, there are lots of artifacts. Even we have our own artifacts, things from our past or things in our lives that really help others to understand who we are. And so that's the key there. Okay, it doesn't have to be ancient. It doesn't have to be from thousands of years ago. Just anything in our past. Remember, yesterday was our past. Anything that's special to us, any object that's special to us or special to a group of people that can help others understand more about their lives. All right, so what is climate? Climate is the weather over time, the weather in an area over time. And climate affected the Native Americans because climate impacted nearly all aspects of a Native American's culture. So again, that was, remember, if it was really hot, if it was really hot there, or like a desert, there wasn't a lot of rain, that it impacted how the Native Americans lived. They had to farm or they had to build irrigation systems in order to survive in that climate. It impacted, again, what they wore. It impacted the animals that lived there, right? So you don't have a whole lot of fish in the Southwest because there weren't a lot of rivers and things. So that wasn't part of the Native Americans' diet. That wasn't part of their culture in the Southwest region. So the climate really impacts how the Native Americans live. What is adaptation? Adaptation is to change to fit your environment. All right, and so give an example of a way a Native American adapted to his or her environment. I think a key example there might be how Plains Indians use teepees in order to move around quickly and follow the buffalo. If they had lived in wigwams or other permanent houses, then they would not have been able to move as quickly. They wouldn't have really changed the way they lived in order to fit their environment, which was they had to move around in order to get the buffalo. Okay? All right. Why did Europeans bring African slaves to the Americas? The Europeans figured out that they could make a lot of money off of the resources they had in America. And they also found out that they could grow resources like tobacco and sell them to Europe. However, they did not have enough manpower to farm the amount of crops that they planted. So they decided to they brought African slaves over and forced the slaves to work on their plantations, which is just a fancy word for farms. How many voyages did Columbus take to the New World? Voyages does not mean how many ships did he take. How many voyages just means how many trips, and he took 4. That means after he discovered America, he went back to Europe, and then he came back to America 3 more times after that, so 4 total. What effect did his accounts of the New World have on the people of Europe? There are 3, all right? The first one is that people wanted to convert the Native Americans to Christianity. But let's say this. Really, what effect did Columbus have? His effect was that everyone in Europe was suddenly interested in coming or sending people to America in order to convert Native Americans to Christianity in order to get rich. So remember, Columbus lied and said he found a bunch of gold when really he didn't. And so they wanted to look for gold, but they also knew that they could get rich from the resources. And the third reason why everyone was interested in coming or sending people to America after Columbus came is because of glory. They didn't want any other country to outdo them. They all wanted to be the best country out there. Okay? So God, gold, and glory. What effect did his accounts have? He came, told everybody about the Native Americans, so people wanted to convert them to Christianity. Then he told everybody about the riches there, even though there wasn't really gold there. But he encouraged them to come and get the resources, and then no country wanted to be left behind, and so they decided to get as many people from their country over to America in order to claim the resources and claim the most land so that they could be the best, which leads to our next question. What is the line of demarcation? It is a line that separates land that Spain was able to claim and Portugal was able to claim. Remember, Spain was able to claim everything to the west, and Portugal to the east. So more on this on our next video, and then we'll finish up. I'm not really sure how to pause this, so we're just going to have an awkward silence until it runs out.